Aloha and welcome everybody to the Murph's Place 808 for the Love of Golf podcast. I'm your host Murph. Hope everybody has had a great week out there this past week. Mine's been pretty good. Wasn't the best, but it could have been a lot worse. So I can't complain too much. I hope your week has been really good. Hope everybody is staying safe and staying well during this tough time of COVID. All our golf courses are pretty much back open and allowing some club play, so my Beach Boys Golf Club is getting some play in. We're going to talk about the PGA. We got the Masters coming up this week. It's so odd saying that we have the Masters coming up and it's November, but we'll discuss that. We also got a couple questions sent in that would like some clarification on a couple of rules questions, so we'll cover that also. But let's start with this. Hey, I told you guys last week about my little blow-up playing the FIA belt match last Sunday. I had a bad round on Saturday, which left me in a bad mood, and it carried over into Sunday. And I played terrible on Sunday, and after hitting my second straight out-of-bounds hole, or second straight out-of-bounds shot on consecutive holes, I packed it in and left. It was raining. I'm not saying that's the reason why either. I mean, I didn't want to break any clubs, and I let my emotions get the best of me, and I know we've talked about that on the podcast before, that you got to kind of keep your emotions in check, and you can't really carry over and let that anger carry over through the rest of your round. I was watching an interview. It's been a couple of weeks ago. They were talking about Webb Simpson, and I kind of want to try to fashion myself after that guy. He is pretty stoic on the course. He doesn't let too much bother him. And I remember him saying one time that you can't let your emotions get the best of you and be upset or mad about a shot, because you got to take the shots one at a time, because you never know, that next shot may be the beginning of your hot streak of making a lot of birdies or something like that. So if you're carrying that anger over, it's not going to allow you to play very well. And that was obvious in my case on Sunday. And it's kind of been bothering me all week, actually. It's something that I just can't get out of my head, how disappointed I am in myself for allowing that to happen, because that's not me. That's the first time I've ever done that. I apologize to the guys that I was playing with, because they know I'm not that type of player, and that I shouldn't have let my emotions get the best of me, and I should have stuck it out. They've been ribbing me, though. We played this past Sunday for the FIA belt again, and Joe P., the reigning champion for the last 4 weeks, retained the belt. I tried to give him a run for his money. On the front nine, I was 3 under going into hole number 9, and I end up 3-putting number 9, taking a double on that hole, which put me at 1 under, and he birdied the hole, which put him at 1 under. And then he just went on a tear on the back. He had 3 birdies in a row, and he ended up shooting 68, and I shot 72, and he retained the belt. So he's playing great, though. And like I said, he was the guy that was with me when I won a tournament here. I played really well, shot 67, and ended up winning the tournament. And it was mainly because of him. I was in his group, and he kept me relaxed, and we were joking, and it was a good time. So he's a great guy and a good player, and if I have to lose to him, then so be it. Or even my other buddy, Chris Wright, he's a good player too. He almost had Joe a couple of weeks ago. Joe shot 69, and Chris shot 71, 1 under. So it's tough beating Joe. If you're gonna come and try to take that belt from him, you have to bring your A game, and you got to play really, really, really good, because he's been under par every week that we played. He shot 66 last Sunday, the Sunday that I left. But anyhow, I'm going to try to better myself and kind of fashion myself after Webb Simpson. on the PGA Tour as far as keeping his emotions in check and taking one shot at a time. I did turn it around, though, Monday, Beach Boys. We played Monday for the Beach Boys, and we played at Eva Beach. I had a good round. I was playing really well. I ended up shooting 68 and won quite a few of the pots for our betting. And then throughout the week, Tuesday through Friday, obviously we play the Murph game at Wanalua after work. Won a little bit of money, lost a little bit of money, but it's always a good time. Those guys are really great. Joe P., Chris, Kavika, Kuso, a couple of the other guys. We always have a good time. Danny. We always have a good time, and it's always fun. So got some golf in this week. No tournaments. The next tournament, as far as the Hawaii State Golf Association goes, I believe they're talking about having the 4-ball tournament in February, but there's no definite plans of it yet. Let's take a short break, and we'll be right back. All right. Hey, guys, I got to tell you, if you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me tell you how. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or your computer. Not only that, but Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other sites. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. That's ANCHOR.FM. Right, welcome back. So we played Beach Boys today. We played Pearl Country Club. And speaking of which, I got a Spam Musubi rating for Pearl Country Club. They have a Spam Musubi that they put this yellow radish into it under the slice of Spam. I really like it. I don't know what it is about it, but it adds kind of this little unique flavor to their musubi. And I don't know of any other courses that do that. And I know I've had Pearl Country Club's Spam musubi before, but I'm trying to think of any of the other clubs that we play that they do that with their Spam musubi. Some of them might put like a little bit of egg under the Spam, but I think Pearl is the only one that puts that little yellow radish in it. But anyhow, it was good. The rice was cooked properly, had a good flavor to it. I would probably rate it a 3.5 out of 0 to 5. So it was pretty good. But anyhow, we played Pearl Country Club. The course was in really good shape, and I'm surprised. I mean, they had some issues where they were talking about closing it. Then they got a new management company in, and this new management company is running it. But it was in really good shape today. I really enjoyed it. Sprinkled a little bit on us, a little bit of rain. Not too bad, though. It wasn't anything, no heavy downpours or anything like that. Played the front 9 decent, shot 36, but the back 9 kind of just kept hitting it in the trees, putting myself in trouble. I ended up shooting 79, 43 on the back. Not good. Lost the majority of the little Nassau bets I had with some of the guys and won 2 of them. So, but I did win, had an eagle on 1. So that got me a little bit of money, and then won a couple of skins, a greenie, and a low net on the front. So it all worked out in the end. The restaurant was open, so we got to go in and sit down and eat afterwards, which was nice. A lot of these courses, they don't have the restaurants open for the most part. Or if they do open them, it's later after we're already gone. But it was a good day. Not bad. It's funny, I was sitting there. I got there a little early. I woke up early today, and instead of hanging out the house, I just got ready and went to the course and thought I'll grab me some breakfast. So I ordered some breakfast, and Rich was there when I got there, so he decided to eat. He's kind of a tall, thin guy, and he's been talking about wanting to gain some weight. So he told me he was on the DeChambeau diet. And I said, "What's that?" He goes, "He's eating like so many calories a day, or he did, to gain this weight that, DeChambeau put on a lot of weight." So I told him, I go, "Well, why don't you do what that guy did?" I saw this documentary one time about fast food, and he ate McDonald's for 30 days straight and gained like 30 some pounds. So I told Rich, I was like, hey, why don't you just go on that McDonald's diet? And he was like, well, I want to live to see 45. He didn't think my idea was very good, but it'll put the weight on him. So he wants to put some weight on. I think he's trying to beef up to hit the ball longer. Let's talk about the Masters. Man, November, and we're having the Masters in November. That's crazy. What's weird, well, not weird, but what's going to be kind of iffy is the weather. This time of year, they get a lot of rain. I believe they're calling for rain. I think thunderstorms on Wednesday and Thursday, and then showers on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So they could be playing in a lot of rain. And I'm wondering, how does that affect the favorites in this as far as who's favored to win the tournament? And they're saying, Dustin Johnson, DeChambeau. DeChambeau is apparently, he played a practice round the other day. They were saying that he was hitting 7 and 8 irons into the par fives, that he was just crushing the ball. And I heard that he's using his 48-inch driver here at the Masters. So it'll be interesting. He may have the advantage. I mean, if it's going to be wet and the ball's not going to get a lot of roll, if he's hitting it down there 340, 350, 360 and carrying it that far, he may be the one that's got the best advantage in the field this week. But we'll see. My buddy and I, Pat, we did some bets on who was going to win the Masters this year, and the way we did it was pretty interesting. I've never done it this way before, but he was like, okay, you pick 5 teams, or you pick 5 guys, and I'm going to pick 5 guys. So we picked our 5 guys, and then we went through our list. And if we both had a guy on the list, then we put him off to the side as being one of our picks. And so I think we had 1 guy the first time we did it, or maybe 2 guys. And then he said, okay, pick another 5 guys. So we picked another 5 guys. Same thing. 1 or 2 guys, we had the same. So we put them off to the side. And then we did it again. I think we picked 3 guys that time because I think we only needed 1. We were only going to bet 5 guys. We picked 3 again, and then we got our 1, so we had our 5 guys. But it's kind of interesting to do it that way because it kind of gives you the mindset of who you're both are thinking about, who has a chance to win it. Now, we didn't just pick the favorites because obviously the line on the favorites aren't as good as some of the long shots. So we've got a couple of long shots. We got a couple of tweeners, and then we got a guy that is closer to the favorite. Like, not the favorite, but he was up there kind of high on the list. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully one of our guys wins and we get a little bit of money out of it. It's going to be odd too. No fans. Man, that's just crazy. I mean, I still haven't got the chance to talk to my buddy Brent Grant about this because Brent plays on the web.com tour. Well, not the web.com. It's the Corn Ferry tour now. They keep switching to Nationwide, web.com, Corn Ferry. He plays on the Corn Ferry tour. And I wanted to ask him, because I know they've played some tournaments, and I wanted to ask him, how does that affect them as far as how they play? Does the crowd pump them up and make them play better, or is the crowd more of a distraction? How many times have you seen Tiger on the tee, and he's getting ready to tee off and even starts his backswing, and then all of a sudden he'll stop because he heard something or a camera click or whatever it may be. So I'm wondering if not having the fans there is an advantage to them, or would they prefer having fans there, that pumps them up and makes them want to play better? I think definitely in the Ryder Cup, having fans is an advantage. I don't know about regular tournaments, but I would say that having them there during the Ryder Cup is definitely an advantage, that it works in their favor. Because that tournament's a little different. The players get jazzed up and everything, especially, they're going against a European team. There's a lot of emotion, and I think the crowd plays into that, and they play off of that. Actually, the players do. So, but it'll be interesting. I'll tell you, I hope Rory wins it. I do have a standing bet with a guy I made like 5 years ago or 4 years ago. I can't remember what it is or when it was, but it was that I took Rory that he would get the Grand Slam before. Oh, it was Jordan Spieth. So I think Rory has to get a Master. I don't think Rory has a Masters win. Jordan has a Masters win, but he needed something else. I can't remember what that tournament was. But we have a running bet that see who gets it first. So I hope Rory ends up getting it. I hope Rory wins, even though he's not one of our picks in our bet. But I hope he ends up winning this thing so I can win my bet with this other guy. So we'll see what happens. But it's Masters Week. It's a great time. It's pretty interesting. So we have a member at Moanalua Golf Club, Steve Bartkowski, who was the number 1 draft pick, played football in the NFL back in 70, I think it was 75 or 78. He was a number 1 pick quarterback. Anyhow, he and his wife joined, and she is the photographer for the Masters. And like within an hour, like when Tiger won last year, within the hour, she had a collage of highlights of his during the tournament. It was pretty awesome. And she takes awesome pictures. Her name is Sandy. She takes awesome pictures. She took some pictures when they were at Moanalua and stuff, and she's an excellent photographer. So I'm sure they're pretty excited because she'll be going there and doing that again this year. So, but anyhow, let's go Rory. Root for Rory. All right, let's do a couple of emails. I had a couple of questions come in. The first question was from Steve. He said, "Can I stand out of bounds to hit a ball that is inbounds? My buddy said no, and I think that I can. What do you think?" Well, Steve, this just happens to be a question that we had at Moanalua, because on hole number 9 at Moanalua, we used to have out-of-bounds stakes that was just off the parking lot on number 9 on the left-hand side. And then when Slugger White and Mark Russell came to dinner when the Sony Open was in town, John Harmon, who used to be the pro at Waialae, he's friends with Mark Russell and Slugger White. So he has dinner with them every year when the Sony's in town. And so he invited them to Moanalua and invited a few of us to come to dinner with him. So, and Mark had suggested that we take those stakes out and just make the parking lot OB. The parking lot is out of bounds. There's a white line that goes along the parking lot also. So we took the white stakes out and we made that out of bounds. Well, a question came up. One of the members wanted to know if they could stand out of bounds on the parking lot to hit a ball that was actually still in bounds. And the member didn't think that the other person could do it because he said the out of bounds was like a wall that went straight up. So what I did was I emailed the USGA and asked them this question, gave them the scenario and asked them the question. And they responded and said, yes, you can stand out of bounds to hit a ball that is in bounds. So yes, you can actually stand out of bounds and hit your ball that is in bounds. Now there's obviously going to be some scenarios that isn't going to come into effect. I mean, if you have a fence that is OB, you're not going to be able to jump over the fence and make a swing at your ball. And you don't get free relief from that fence because that is an out of bounds marker. If the barrier or boundary is out of bounds, you do not get relief from it. Now, if it was like in course and there's a fence there and it's not an out of bounds area, yes, you would get relief from that fence. But if it's an out of bounds area, you don't get relief from that fence. You're going to have to take an unplayable lie, which is a one-stroke penalty. I hope that answered your question, Steve. So it kind of falls in line with the next question. This question comes from David. He said, I hit my ball in a tree root area and had to take an unplayable. My playing partner said I got 1 club length, and I don't think he was right. Do you know if he was right? I had this similar situation in a tournament at the Army Invitational. I'm sorry, not the Army Invitational. The Barbers Point Invitational at Barbers Point Golf Course a few years back. I had an unplayable. It was in some bushes along the fence line there on the driving range. So I had to take an unplayable. I wasn't going to be able to hit it. One of the guys I was playing with said that you only get 1 club length from the ball, which is not correct. You get 2 club lengths from the ball. There's a few different things that you can do. Number 1, you can go back to the original spot where you hit your ball, and you can replay your shot. Now it's going to be a 1-stroke penalty, and when you drop the ball with the new drop area or where it has to stay in, it's 1 club length on either side. The back of it is 1 club length from the back, kind of makes like a semicircle. You do get the ball has to stay within that 1 club length area when you drop. An easy way, or the second thing that you could do, is where the ball is at in the bush or wherever it may be, you could take 2 club lengths, no nearer the hole, and drop it within that area. Sometimes you're not going to have a shot from that area because the bush is right there, right? So your third option would be taking the ball where the ball is and keeping that in a straight line with the flag. You can go back as far as you want and then drop within 1 club length. And it cannot roll towards the hole. If it rolls towards the hole, you got to drop again. But as long as it stays in that 1 club length area, when you drop it, you're good. The ball is in play, and you can play from that area. So if you're behind a big bush, you can take that line from the pin to where your ball is, keeping that in a straight line. You can go back as far as you want, so that you can go back, say, 50 yards, where you can hit over the bush to the green. But an easy way to remember how many club lengths you get. If you have to take a penalty stroke, somebody told me this one time, if you have to take a penalty stroke, it's 2 club lengths. If it's free relief, it's 1 club length. So say that you hit your ball and it's next to the cart path, and either the cart path is going to affect your swing, you're going to hit the cart path when you swing, or you're standing on the cart path. Then you get relief from that 1 club length. So you take total relief. You stand off of the cart path, no nearer the hole, stand off of the cart path. Technically what you do is you get your stance, put your club down, you put a tee at your club head, and then from that tee, no closer to the hole, you get 1 club length away from that tee. Put another tee in the ground, and then drop your ball from knee height. So anytime, the easiest way to remember is if it's free relief, it's 1 club length. If it's a penalty, where you have to take a penalty stroke, it's 2 club lengths. So I hope that answered your question, David. And it worked out that these both instances have happened to me on the golf course. Like your buddy or your playing partner said that you only get 1 club length. That's what that guy told me when I was playing, but found out that was not true. If you guys have any other questions, please email me at murphsplace808@gmail.com. Or you could go to the Anchor website, leave me a voice message on Anchor. Or if you just want me to talk about some other topic, something that you want me to bring up and talk about. Or if you have any questions about anything. It doesn't necessarily have to be golf related, but that's what this podcast is about talking about some golf. Fill me in on some of your guys' experiences or problems that you've had on the golf course. Hopefully you're not getting too upset and walking off the course like I did, like a dummy, but like I said, I still regret that. It's been bugging me all week. I don't like leaving somebody with the impression that that's the type of player or person that I am, that I would just quit. That's not me. Anyhow, Let's take a break and we'll be right back. This podcast is brought to you by Smart Boy Studios, the best studio and artist collective out of Ohio. Smart Boy Studios provides recording, mixing, and mastering services, as well as any other audio post-production you need. Smart Boy Entertainment artists Corey Gossett and JV Tree have a new EP out on November 20th, 5 Day Friends. The 6-song project explores the fun and friendly energy that these two artists have on a track together. With production from D Swove, Vesta, and Ash Matthews, you can't help but to bob your head, tap your foot, and sing along to the stellar set of tracks. Head to www.smartboystudios.com to stay up to date on new music, new videos, and any upcoming events. If you'd like to support Smart Boy Studios and their artists, visit threads.smartboystudios.com to check out their merch. They offer hoodies, hats, shirts, and more. All right, welcome back, everybody. So, anyhow, I'm going to get out of here. Hope all of you guys have a great week. Keep working on your game. Keep practicing, put the time and effort in. Or if you really don't care and you just want to have fun, go out and play with your buddies, drink a few beers, relax, get some exercise, enjoy the sunshine, then don't worry about practicing or spend a lot of time on things. Just enjoy yourself. Life's too short. You got to enjoy yourself. But if you are one of those competitive types and you are trying to get better, put the time and effort into your game. I guarantee you will improve your game. I have a buddy, Brian, that has picked up golf here this past year or so, a couple of years now, maybe a year. And he started playing competitively, and he's been playing, and he's been improving. Rich brought that up today, that we were talking about this tournament that's coming up, and he qualified to play in it. Brian did, and he had mentioned, Rich was like, he asked me if I had been working with him, helping him out, and I said no. He's just been playing a lot, and he's starting to get better. So if you want to get better, just put the time in, and if you don't worry about it. Have fun. But so I'm going to get out of here. You guys have an awesome week. I hope my week goes good. We will see you guys next week on the podcast. All right. Everybody have a great one. Aloha.